might even see the light ships. I might even see the light ships. We're not going to do a session. We're not going to do like a teaching session. Spirit wanted me to challenge myself to speak a little bit more authentically about myself, speak a little bit more, letting down the barriers, if you will, to open myself up to share a bit more of my personal story. And I've talked about some of it in a lot of ways, some of it on our videos, but they're continually bringing up for me to keep sharing my story. My story will help so many people that have gone through similar experiences. I was born as a highly sensitive, high-functioning child. I've got a lot of celestial DNA. There's many things that my teams tell me and unveil to me when I channel and when I go and ask questions about myself. Most often than not, when I'm doing my own, when I'm just living life, I don't necessarily ask questions about myself. So I find that kind of, it's kind of my own self-work. So I'm going to take this whole entire week to kind of go deeper in with my own Akashic story. Because normally I just switched to being a server, and I switched to being a leader or a teacher or a healer. So I'm constantly seeking information about the collective, constantly seeking things of answers that I can help resolve for the collective. And I know, understanding, obviously, it has an equal, sharing of what's going on in my life. But as far as, my own history, there's a lot that my teams are going to be unfolding for me about myself, because it's time, and I've gathered enough strength to remember, a lot of the experiences that I've gone through. Some experiences they just shared with me, they're horrible. They called them horrible things that are kind of holes in my memory, because of how I was treated throughout my whole life. And they're carried forward stories from other timelines. I know that I am a very unique and rare being here on this planet. And there are times purposefully that I don't tap into my entire history, because I focus on being here in the now so that I can move forward and continue evolving, and understanding that you have to go back into those places there to seek those aspects of you, the uniqueness of you, to bring it forward and heal it. And so I wanted this just to be a session about, not a session at all, but just like an open forum, an open forum to start discussing those of us that are hybrid children, those of us that are crystal children, those of us that are highly sensitive, those of us that walk in great bodies of sensitivity that aren't even understood. They're not, nobody is doing the level of studies or the level of interest in a respectful, honoring way for people like myself. A lot of what has gone on in our world thus far has been not a lot of higher vibrational understanding as to people like myself. Zero education or information about people like myself, because I'm the one bringing it forward. So for me to live in the body that I live in, for me to be here in this way is most often than not really challenging, to say the least. There's been, I can't even count the number of times I've wished not to be here, just because of the challenge that it is for me to be here, psychically, telepathically, to be in the body that I'm in and have the interfacing that I do with vibration. My teams are constantly working with me to adjust what I can sense and what I can feel, so that I'm not overwhelmed, and I'm not, especially if I'm going through healings, especially if I'm going through the healings that I've gone through As we all know, that ascension is kind of like a culmination. So I'm glad that I've experienced all that I've experienced, and I've had the opportunity to really create the healing systems I've had, because when I do have my own explorations to dive deep within and excavate, it gives me a better understanding. It doesn't make it easier. Just because I'm a healer, it doesn't make it easier. It makes my process, um, I have to detach from it. I have to become that personal Joanna, not the healer, teacher, leader Joanna. And I'm going to be trying more and more to be more Joanna, because my story needs to be heard. My story needs to be a part of the human collective grounding for hybrid children, crystalline children, empathic, high functioning children, um, celestial, incorporated humans, that are here on a very dense planet, helping many, many systems, helping many, many galaxies and universes harmonize to. A lot of studies are being done, I know, because I'm a part of those groups, and I can see, when I say interfacing, I see what goes on in the light ships and the groups that I'm connected with, because I came here as a higher contracted being to offer myself as a human with a lot of celestial DNA, so that I can be, a preemptive test, if you will, for the hybrid children, to how much of a celestial being in human form can we operate within, and have them work within such densities to prepare the lands, to assist in what does a hybridized child feel like in a human body, and why the children are having such challenges today in the such staunch and limiting systems that there are. Um, and I was a part of that breaking of the mold, and bringing these forward to bring in higher vibrational teachings for them. And unfortunately, with the densities and with the ego, with the unfortunate, fortunate and unfortunate, I understand that I'm here to serve the greater good, and I understand that. But it breaks my heart to know that there's so much of our population and the leaders of today that are so very wounded in their distorted masculine energies, and the distorted feminine energies, that much of what comes forward as a gift has been so, um, horribly, horribly, um, taken advantage of in such horrible, horrible ways. And that's my life story. Part of the greatness that I see is that my healing systems can help children that are so very sensitive. They can have a path to get to know themselves and understand themselves when there's nothing in our social systems that can identify and help them seek that self-loving validation and self-value of their divine sacredness and their divine beauty and the grace that God blesses them on this planet to help a collective that is so very sick and wounded. Um, for my life, and there's, again, they said that there's memories that I don't have, just because, of the horrible experiences they were, and it would be too sensitive for me to kind of bring forward. But those memories will come on as I, heal and accept, the beautiful grace that I am, on the planet. And part of my story to come here, is to be that for the children. Because again, there is no systems out there. There's nobody as a divine feminine role model. Um, my light ship's going to be out there. My light ships might show up. um, and there's nothing in the systems. There's nothing talked into schools about chakra systems, our vibrational fields. Nothing in our systems talk about, very few homes. When the kids get up in the morning, you don't have conversations about their dreams, and getting them used to talking about higher consciousness topics. I've always talked like that with my children since they were old enough to understand. We've always had very dynamic, multidimensional, very galactic multiverse discussions. I was constantly discussing these far out things with my kids, because they're obviously, all children are. have access to higher vibrations than my generation before me. But my particular story is, I was brought here as a gift. And of course, I didn't awaken until I was, well into my 30s. But my childhood and my youth were very challenging. Obviously, there was nobody telling me that I was psychic. There was nobody telling me my gifts. I was in a home that was very dysfunctional, with alcoholism and various dysfunctions and abuses. And I was the purveyor of seeing it and feeling it and precognating it. And I became counselor to the dysfunction. I became entrenched in triangulation. Um, and I remember a few things that occur over my life. When I was 5 or 6, the Pleiadians, my bird family, came to meet me at the door, and they took me aboard a ship to adjust my heart chakra. So I have those scars. But I didn't realize that until after my awakening. And all of these things, which is what awakening does, it opens you up slowly and slowly, slowly, so you start remembering and understanding who you are as a soul. And part of my mission and my experience here was many tests, and many councils that I belong with are learning so much because they live through me. I have many implants. I have access because spirit is spirit. My 7th dimensional, 6th dimensional, 8th dimensional aspects of me, they live through me. So just as I am interfacing, I am a conduit. When I talk to people, I can see what they're seeing and feeling. So it's very similar to the higher, of course, higher vibrational beings. The higher vibration you are, they're just spirit in me. They still don't have the physical body, but they can learn a lot by my emotions, by how I need to be healed, by my DNA. When I go through trauma, what does that feel like, and how can we heal? So the galactic celestial councils, they're learning so much from me. And they're learning from everybody, as we share our stories, as we allow ourselves to be healed and know ourselves as multidimensional, because then they know what kind of codes and what kind of light to give us, because again, everybody is coded differently with their DNA. There's various genetic species on our planet, and there's been some talk about it over the last 5 years about AI, various aspects of reptilian denominations, and we see they get very shut off. They don't have a lot of emotional conscience, so they can continue hurting people and hurting people and hurting people. And it doesn't mean that just reptilians. I'm just saying that there's just those discussions in the collective. I don't necessarily agree with it because I know a bit more than that. But there are definite aspects of our collective that are very new in the human evolution experience, and they live from a lower energy of conscious awareness just because of their DNA encoding. None of our policing systems, none of our healing systems, none of our psychological systems, none of our psychiatric systems, no systems in our sociology will ever tap into this. It's just not out there. So this is where, again, me coming forward in the genius and the genuine, authentic version of who I am, because I can see DNA, I can feel DNA, I can talk about things in a multiverse perspective that can hopefully inspire others, because there's billions of people on this planet, and there are so many that have gone through such profound discriminations of simply being unique, simply being prepared within our DNA differently to offer different versions of experiences. And from the levels of density that the collective is working within, all of our systems are so very dense, orchestrated, constructed, led, and held absolutely in all of its vibration into divine masculine control, which are right now wounded because they haven't done any healing. And so my life experience has been no short of like walking uphill all the time on a good day. That's what it feels like being here. I take my peace and my blessing in nature. That's where I feel most at peace. That's where I feel like I can breathe. All other times I feel like I'm constantly on, that protective mode because of how my body reacts around energies, how I react around energies. Um, for instance, yesterday I was in a small shop and there was 3 women there and a man there. And my body was already scanning the room and I was connecting with whatever was being fed to me from their bodies, the things that needed to be healed, messages, symbols. And that's just with a very small room with 4 or 5 people in it. And then, of course, the women can sense that I'm a healer. So 3 women came over and I got engrossed in a healing conversation for about 2 hours, giving a free healing session to a lady that was there that had terrible, terrible trouble with her knees. But that's just a one afternoon. That's what it's like to be when I go out. It's just conversations, and I have to I have to be very focused on the direction of my energy and how it feels to be me for a few hours. And that's just a normal, loving human connection conversation. Um, most of what I've experienced, and this is where my life experience and my story can help those that have been through discriminations, um, women that have, and children. Um, so grossly neglected and taken advantage of because of our innate kindness or centeredness, whatever it is that people feel that they don't have, the jealousy and the envy that people want to be, and they see that when somebody like me stands before them that has information or wisdoms or has light or whatever it is. I can't speak for how other people feel when I'm in front of them. I give that to them. That's their experience. I only sense what I sense when I'm moving about my life, and that's all I can express is just what I sense and what I've seen and what I can feel as the energy or the emotion, because I am a highly sensitive conduit. I'm a crystal. So whatever is felt emotionally, I feel it. So if they're feeling hate, pain, and envy and jealousy because they're not sure about who they are, they have no idea of a sense of self, they have no clue who they are, and they see someone that's operating in a higher sense of self, they just project all that hate and that anger and that envy because they don't understand why you have it and they don't. So it's again about their inner reflection of lack of self, lack of insecurity. And also misogyny has been a huge part of the themes that I'm healing, assisting those to be triggered in their own misogyny. So all of these grand social themes that is part of my soul's purpose. As a child, obviously, I didn't know it. As a child, you walk around just wanting to be loved and accepted. And as a child, as gifted and as special and as so very talented that I was, um, um, I was, literally, um, as many children were, to be to be a highly sensitive person. And there's no words for what I am. I'm a conduit, I'm a sensitive, I'm psychic, I'm telepathic, I am a healer, I'm a teacher, I'm all of these things. And I've been one of the first beings on this planet to talk about aspects of my multidimensionality that are going to be the futures of the hybrid children that will be coming to this planet and born every day, that there's no systems for, there's no nothing for. And part of my story that has to be talked about is the various aspects of our planetary experience where there is such darkness, and those that see or want to take advantage of those that are unique. There's words we just don't have, because I can't understand other than talking about it in a teacher type of a way. They're showing me it has to do with genetics. There's people on the planet that are coded that have genetics, if we say reptilian or various aspects of draconian or Orion, parts of those genetics that will be studied, and we're going to be learning about it as we open up to our multidimensionality. So these are the kind of the next segments of ascension we're going to be talking about, because Spirit has showed me that there's also other universes and other galaxies that we're healing. So this is why I'm talking about it. This is why those that have attacked me, those that have been continually attacking me, their DNA and their structures have not allowed them to open up to the level of compassion and consciousness awareness that I have. So that allows me a higher perspective, if you will, to help others also heal, that are also highly sensitive, that are also psychic. We're born psychic, we're born very sensitive, we're born very telepathic or empathic. However, you were uniquely born, and you were shut down, you were ostracized, you were bullied because you were so different. There will be in our future, I'll probably be a part of these teachings, but I'm trying to navigate this conversation so that I'm not going to sound so much teacher-like, because it's my personal story. But I have to sound kind of teacher-like because these will be very important teachings for the collective to understand as a social new 5D experience, that for us to be the highest vibrational healers and leaders that we can be, there are those in our collective that are just genetically coded in a different way. And we have to look at healing. We have to look at compassion. We have to look at how to, I guess, approach common human decency, common human treatment, because there are some people that have been so disconnected from their heart space. And especially if you're put in dogmatic systems of literally brainwashing to be and to create certain rituals and tactics to belong, to act a certain way, to be a certain way, to be important, to be valued, and then you get given these rituals to be accepted. And I mean, it's just so crazy. I don't understand any of those things, and I understand how harming and horrible it is to the psyche, how it is to a child that's brought up in systems where you have to do something and be something to be accepted. And then you go into the exact opposite when you're not receiving what you want out of life because nobody's told you how to maintain and sustain your energy from your chakra systems, from your fields, from your direct connection with source. We're never taught any of these things. There's so much religions that separate us. So no wonder people are so confused about who they are and what the fuck they're going through. And then when they do have those soul fragments of deep, deep enslavement, control, domination from Orion or from reptilian, where they just merely just destroyed countries and people and planets when they wanted to get what they wanted. Where we're not like that anymore. We're evolving from a myriad of multidimensional DNA genetics, where you in your mindset, because you come at a higher consciousness, treating someone with kindness and respect is just a thing, and you want to help people heal, and you're doing the best that you can, and all you do is give. And then there's those on the other realm of it where They don't give a crap. They just want the status. They want the importance. They want what you want. How unfair is it that you get to be psychic and I'm not psychic? I'm going to take your work and I'm going to steal your work and I'm going to suppress you and depress you and I'm going to send spell work at you because that's my forcing way to make you less than me, to make myself better than you. And those have been my struggles my entire life. The last 15 years, since I've been trying to separate myself in a more independent manner from the traditional home roles, if you will, for a divine feminine, I was asked by Spirit to leave and to move into an independent walker of the planet and healer and teacher of the planet. And so I did, and I listened to Spirit and I heeded Spirit. And then I started taking action towards divorce. And from that transaction of my agreement with Spirit and following Spirit, knowing that my spirit is everything, my spirit is my jurisdiction. You know, traditional roles in humanity aren't my jurisdiction, because I'd never seen those roles as normal to me. The traditional way of life here is not normal for me. It doesn't feel normal for me. It feels very, I mean, it's much better now. At least I have a really nice core group of friends and they care about me and the people here know me. You know, when I go into a coffee shop, they know me. It's very connective. And again, I heal. When I walk out, I heal people and they know me. You know, they're happy to know me. They're happy for me to be here. They're happy for me to be offering who I am. I feel honored here. I'm respected here. Where I came from in Calgary, I was not respected at all. I had no friends, no social life. I had no support. It was a very corrupt, isolating experience. And when I sought what was right for me, it was nothing short of tormenting. When I sought my voice, when I sought to be heard, to be valued, when I was explaining what I was going through, the situations I was going through, just having closed doors and ignorance being thrown when you're trying to come forward and say, no, these are very real things that are happening to me. And other people are getting away with it because of their hands in the underground and having various people involved in various businesses, in various aspects where they were paying for things to occur. To bring blockages and suppression, great, horrible suppression and domination to try and suppress me so that I wouldn't be myself, so that I wouldn't be seen, so that I wouldn't be fully in my Christhood. And there was years and years, still to this day, still people trying to pay to buy my information, people selling my information, people selling parts of me as if they have A, authority, B, it's against the law, C, they're just disregarding of every human and spiritual conscience of right and wrong. They don't care. And that's been the hardest, most painful experience for someone like me. And these people were people in the community and in my family that had told me and lied to my face hundreds of times and denied what I had called out hundreds of times. Selling my information to make money, selling me to make money. When I had been struggling 24/7, I'm up writing, I'm talking to Spirit, I'm writing in my journals, I'm getting my books done, I'm 24/7 promoting myself, and still my YouTube channel hasn't been seen by even a 1/100,000th of the planet, of the communities. I have zero growth on my YouTube. There's people still today that gather in groups to sort out how they're going to stop me, how they're going to take from me. People that I don't know, I've never met them. I had a couple of people come to my classes as fake clients to get information, to take the videos back to their ringleader, to find out how they could stalk me some more and spy on me and take my information and then sell it to those that do black magic and root work and voodoo work so they could take the God essence out of me. And there was their rituals that they do on graveyards, and they do rituals in forests, and they do orgies, sex orgies, and multiple partners to then intend and chant, taking my that there's people actually doing this. They actually get together and they talk about how they can take people's life force. They get together in groups and they target. I can't say who they've been targeting because I can't speak for anybody. This is my experience. I went to bed one night and I felt myself being gang raped vibrationally. And they were laughing. They don't understand that a sensitive like me feels everything. And none of these people had permissions or authority. They do it on a weekly basis in the moon cycles. And they give my information about my birth charts, about the people that only knew me. So there's very limited people that knew about my personal information. And they began selling it and making a business out of the 150 million ways that anybody could try and fuck with me. To how many ways they could vibrationally rape me, take the God essence out of me, the human testing, to see if I would hurt somebody. They would be chanting death wishes on chant hate and put my pictures in jars to see if I would go and hurt people. And the sick things that people do because they're so disconnected and sick within themselves with no sense of self. And they get jealous because you just know things. And just when you think you're healed, another moon cycle comes along, or a full moon, or you feel them in your field and you feel them constantly doing spell work on you because they want you to come back and be in their life so they can take advantage of you some more. They will copy your content and put it on false pages, and they make money off it, or make videos without your consent and then get paid for it, or sell your information to dark, corrupt, horrible people that just seek to corrupt and use your work or use your words and twist it into devil and hate. And I remember years ago when I was in Calgary and I woke up and there was heavy, heavy spell work going on. And me connecting with spirit was so hard because there was so much spell work. On the day of my birthday, they had done extra spell work to wish me to commit suicide. And they did this regularly. And I woke up thinking, wow, it's my birthday today. And I had to mentally fight thousands of chanting committing suicide. And the planet has no idea how very special I am. And I always talk with God. What if I was to not be here, God? They use me to create these pyramid systems, and they take my work and they take my light, and they manifest and harvest from my light with their sex parties and stealing and bidding against my name in the underground. How many hits have been on my life? And it's just been me and God. And I keep moving. I will not stand down. They sell my information to places where they can phone and pretend they're intimidating me about my banking products, and things will get shut down. They want to instill fear in you, hoping that you'll click on their link and they'll get access to all your information. And the people that were meant to be your friends and family get paid 5,000 here, 10,000 there, 6,000 there. And they keep selling you every way they can while they're stealing from you. And they want credit. And then when you move away, you get punished even more because you chose to stand up and speak about the horrible things that are being done in a very blatant and obvious way by many people within communities and families and social systems, for those that are simply here to bring the planet to new levels of understanding and awareness of our psyche wounds and who we belong with within the galaxy. And I'm one child that has grown to be an adult. And how, as a sensitive healer that can heal through touch and bring so much change to a world, blackout, I don't understand why they just want to keep making money off of you and taking from you and taking advantage of you, and they punish you when you move and when you speak, and they get more people involved. They gather more people in, and they pay people to be fake clients to come and spy on you, and they have people stalk you and follow you, mess with your mail, take your mail, withhold your mail, and then they deny it. And there's people in the community that will be paid to silence, be paid to fix paperwork and signatures. And why Spirit told me years ago to start sharing my story, and the truth of my story has been unchanged. So that when those are authorities and investigations being done, my story is truth. And these are things that happen to sensitives and empaths and high vibrational people that are here to help humanity, so that we can transcend the psychological problems and the woundings, and understanding the DNA disconnect, and understanding the systems that have so very harmed us. Dogmatic systems, healing systems that don't care, don't understand, nor are they're not even prepared to heal multidimensional children that have been sexually abused for years. What I've been going through in my process of moving away and being a divorced person and releasing myself from very karmic, torturous experiences has been over 10 years. Every day I'm relentlessly attacked. Spell work being done to be brought back into a toxic cycle that I said no to. On hundreds of emails, thousands of my word being sent, and it never got accepted as just my word. I had to fight to have my word being heard, and even today, my information is being sold to the corrupt communities on more ways to take and steal from me. Because there was a few people that knew who I was, and they wanted to make money off of it while trying to kill me. The only reason why I am here is because of my alliance with the light. There hasn't been one human that has assisted me. And that's where the Galactic Federation is so sad. Humanity is not ready for first contact. You would kill them all. You would kill the Pleiadians. And look what you did to me. Look what you did to me. You would throw voodoo and root work at the Syrians, the Arcturians. You would tell them they're stupid and crazy because they could heal you with a touch. I've been here for a little over 50 years. That's how it feels. I can see things and I know things. And I'm a pretty special person. I have access to a lot of different realms. And it's my joy. It's how I feel most comfortable. And since the day that I've been here, it's been nothing but a fight just to be me. And that's my story. You shouldn't have to fight just to be here. I shouldn't have to fight for what's mine. You shouldn't have to be attacked just because you're who you are. And these lineages and these stories and these timelines where people think they have entitlement. Why? Why do you have entitlement? These people that have been attacking me, I don't know them. I've never sat in a room with these people, except for one or two. And they said that they claimed that they cared and they were my friends. And they certainly weren't. They have deep wounding, psychological wounding of their own lack of self and jealousy and hate towards me. Because I am independent and I'm sovereign and I will not be a part of corruption. And I will not just give my body and my soul to somebody so they can harvest a Gucci bag. And I reclaimed my power and I reclaimed my light, but these people have been sucking the life out of me because it gets them a kick and a high. And because they're too fucking wounded, they don't want to go within and do their own work. And so they will sell my information and they will stalk me and they will research me and they will spend their days and their hours any way they can to get a piece of my energy, to send it back to the underground ringleaders to see how they can then fuck me over one more time. So I ask you, and all of humanity, I'm an aspect of the children. This is what is done. What will your world look like, oh assholes? Those from Calgary, the ringleaders from Calgary, because these videos will be shared. How does it feel to make sure that one, and however my channel was suppressed by whom, and whoever's doing it, and whoever coded it, what will your planet look like when your body is so diseased? And you might have some money that you lay on, and you might have some money in your bed, but your bodies are diseased. Your dicks and your vaginas are diseased because you intend nothing but malice and hate and corruption through your life forces. And you manifest and intend darkness and hate because you don't understand why somebody is psychic and you're not. And you continually do spell work because you want to warp their reality and you want to bring yourself something, anything. And your body is getting more and more diseased because all you care about is getting and taking, having a title or an importance. And you want to bring such darkness to that person that you spend so much time focusing on because they're different or they're unique or you want their energy. You're obsessed, you're addicted. So what happens when you're on your very diseased planet? And that's for all the leaders that are running corrupt programs. What do you do when your planet is no longer carrying water, because the lands will dry up if Divine Feminine is not here to nourish her. And these are universal truths. We see where the world is when Divine Feminine has been erased from the story of creation. And men that are distorted and unhealed are running the world. What will happen to the children when they are nothing but sold to underground sex pits and their bodies become diseased? Because the diseased, corrupt ringleaders want nothing but to keep taking and taking and taking and taking, selling the children's ID, selling the children's passports and information and medical numbers and life force, where they live, where they go to school, have them stalked, have them watched, have them be more vulnerable. What happens when your planet looks like a degradation sex pit and all you have is a dirty dick and a dirty vagina and money? How will your planet look? Oh, dear lighted 3D leaders, corrupt underground Masonic cults, covens, and people that abuse know that they are abusing energy, information, and not abiding by the right use of free will and non-interference. How will your planet look? Will there be hospitals for your sick and diseased body as you are throwing up blood from the cancer that is eating your insides out? How will your hospitals look without Divine Feminine that truly care to heal people? And the beautiful Divine Masculines that are there as nurses that care about humanity, trying to heal people. Compassion is the only thing that is running this absolutely gorgeous planet. And what has occurred to me in my life, a handful of those that have showed me compassion, the similar star seeds that I have known, and helps me heal. The only reason why I'm here is because of Spirit and my alliance with light. I would have been dead 4 times over. And these people chant and they celebrate when they think that I'm down or I don't go online for a couple of days. They think that their spell work is working. They think that my car has been in a crash. They think that the root work and the chanting and the hate work is working, and I've gone and I've killed myself. That's what they wish for. And they will sell any part of me that they can. If they can make 5,000 here and 5,000 there because their lives are falling apart. And they don't understand that what they're putting out is returning. And as they're losing jobs, and as their lives are going broke, their relationships are falling apart, and everything around them starts to die, they look for more ways to sell and take, and they feel entitled to something that they just don't understand was never theirs. You cannot claim and you cannot own a human soul. Sacrifices are illusions. And God has stated between now and every multiverse, none shall ever, ever sacrifice thy daughter. And in any way, anyone thinks that they may, will be so sadly mistaken. I see and I feel things and I hear things. And I know things before they happen. And I state it freely because God says, speak, Joanna, speak. There are children going unheard. There are children walking around with the same sensitivities and uniqueness that I do and that I am. And they're struggling because there's nothing out there that can heal them. And my channel has been suppressed for 6 years. And every person in every community that is corrupt, that holds back a light worker and a healer, you are calling in your own immediate death, because we are the only ones that will save this planet. We are the only ones that can heal the disease of the psyche and the multidimensional wounding that I have experienced. So what would you do, dear lighted ones? I am a rare being on this planet. What would have happened if I had died? Oh, selfish ones, where you've already spent the money that you have made off of knowing me. And you have no entitlement, not an ounce, not a drop of my blood. None of you will be entitled to my light or my essence. I ask you, O corrupt ones, what would happen if I died? O light workers, O healers, billions of children that I will be saving that won't be sold into sex rings. The ones that I'll be healing that are in hospitals that didn't think they could get healed. I'll be helping someone heal their Akashic wounds that haven't been healed for thousands of years, and I'll help heal that. But let's talk to the corrupt ones that sell everything they can to try and get a few ounces and a few thousands. What would have happened if I died? Because there were timelines that was possible. But God said not this time. Something happened one night out of the thousands that I experience all by myself. I have a very small circle of friends for a specific reason. And I went to bed one night with my regular protection. And these people in their sick groups, where they think they have entitlement and power over others, and they want to feel powerful and they want to feel like they're important. And they got together for one of their rituals. And they chanted in groups because one divine feminine, I guess it must take a group of many, many men and women to chant on my behalf. I went to bed one night and had a dream. But this dream was reality. And there was a sacrifice being done on me. And I died. And as my spirit rose, I saw my spirit leave my body. And Archangel Michael and Father pulled me back into my body. And just before I entered my body, I said, I don't want to be here. They keep trying to kill me. They keep stealing from me and taking from me. They don't honor my light. They spit on me, Father. They treat me like I'm horrible. They claim for me to be crazy, and yet they're the ones doing horrible things behind closed doors and denying it and then making money off of it. And they keep doing the testing to see how much I can take. And the Galactic Federations were so horribly disappointed because I was a test to see how galactic oneness could be. If this is how they treat a human that is highly active in her celestial light and codes and love, first contact is just not possible. And the federations kept offering informations and wisdoms And Archangel Michael then stepped in, offering warnings and warnings to stop treating me with such abhorrence. And the ancestors and God had to step in and play babysitter because these people just wanted to see me dead and to stop speaking truth. And I woke up the next morning and my body was covered in sweat. And I had grabbed my face and I had said a prayer to Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael said, "Pray for the children, we brought you back. We're not done yet." And every time there's a moon cycle, these things occur. And these people have been told to stop with their spell work and their rituals and their degradation and their discriminations. What is it that they're looking for? They want to use me to make money off of me, but then they want me to die because I speak truth and call their corruption. How does that make sense? The double standard of narcissism, misogyny. So you want to use the women and you want to use the children to have sex with so that you can make money off them and then throw them away. I've been celibate for 14 years for that very reason. Because my life force is sacred and nobody will use it. Nobody will harvest off of it. They don't have permission, they never will. Nobody has access to my life force. They think they're entitled. All they care about is sucking the life out of anything that is alive and then selling it. And if somebody actually stands up and actually wants to walk forward in her truth and stand and have these beautiful healing systems and have beautiful aspects of bringing new light and transcending the darkness, which, in the words of my teams, few would have survived what I did. And they showed me 4 times where they had to bring me back. And the children that hear the negative, suicidal projections, for them to take their lives so that they can be sacrificed, so that they can be used. I'm that voice. We are sensitive and we're psychic and we know what's going on. And just because we don't have the papers or the proof, but we have to go through 10 and 12 years of courts, forensic accounting and forensic auditing, and then somehow, some way, paperwork gets lost or forgeries occur, intimidation tactics and stalking and spying and more of that. And we just keep transcending. And Spirit and the ancestors just keep the blocks, playing babysitter to those that are not operating within the first universal laws. Because they don't care. They just want to make money. They call themselves a spiritualist and they say what I say and they do what I do. But they're aligned to thieving and hating. And they're fooling a lot of humans. So those that know where my videos are and don't say anything, those that know that those people are being paid off of my work and have been for over 6 years and have done nothing, the monies that have been hidden that are meant to come to me and do nothing, those people in the banks, the people that have helped with paperwork, my signatures have not been on anything except for my divorce documents. I haven't had any business meetings with anybody that has given anybody approvals or authorities on anything. I don't have a boss. I never have had a boss. In the last 10 years of my life that have not been directly related. I have one boss here, used to have one boss here, and she's a friend of mine. And nobody knows them because these people seek to get any information on anybody that I know and anybody that I talk to. And heaven forbid if I should have a date. because these people will start sending spell work because they don't want me to have anybody else in their life except for them, because then it leaves them more light and more things that they can harvest off of. How dare I have a life outside of them? How dare I have a life that I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm expanding, and that my light shines and I will be seen in the world? How dare I be seen in the world? How dare my light help people? How dare my wisdoms and informations will help children not commit suicide? Sensitive children create for themselves a lot of self-harming. Back in my day, there was very few self-harming. I self-harm by eating disorders and drinking. Children self-harm in different ways now because they're so high sensitive and their energies are so highly oscillating. And there's nothing in our social systems that can help them understand who they are. I'm one of the few on the planet that assists with that. And start getting it into the school systems and start bringing these higher vibrational teachings so that children don't commit suicide or don't get brought into the underground thieving systems. These children are here to help change the world. I'm a test of that. Since the day I was born, I've been looked at strange and weird because I see things that other people don't. Because I hear things that other people don't. Because I have an interface directly with God and other people just don't. I'm here to help humanity. And I want you to go away and I want you to think about the sickness and the double standards. They want you to stay around as long as they can make money off you and thieve off you, take advantage of you. And how dare you have a life outside of them? How dare you not want to be a part of their coven or their group so that you can give them more of your light and more of your ideas? Well, they go and corrupt it behind closed doors and they sell it to the highest bidder. Meanwhile, you're being stalked and gang stalked the very same day. So not only do they take from you and thieve from you, but then they suppress you with black magic and chanting and voodoo and ritual and root work, follow you and intimidate you, send you intimidating text on your phone and sell your paperwork and sell your numbers and your bank information and your signatures and your work. And they're making money off it. Meanwhile, I haven't received a penny from anybody. And there's a lot of people that know monies are meant to come to me, and they should have come to me over 8 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying, dear lighted ones? I shouldn't be here right now. It's been a disgusting experience. I can't believe people behave this way. I can't believe people will sell a human, sell a signature, sell anything they can because they feel entitled to your energy, to your light, to your name, when there's been no discussion or approval or anything in any way, on any level. And even if there was, you don't conduct business like that. It's like a pimping show. It's like these companies and these groups and these people and these leaders feel as if they're a literal pimp. It's the most degrading, disgusting experience. As a light worker and a healer, as a being that walks around that can heal people as I walk. I go into a store and I'm healing 3 or 4 people at a time. These 4 people I was with yesterday, they had never had access to somebody like me. And I altered 4 people's lives that day, that afternoon, that 4 hours I was there. I'm a very unique and rare being on this planet. And I've been treated like I am a whore. And there's nothing wrong with being a whore. I'm not judging that. Nobody has asked. Nobody has been given permissions. Nobody has been given authorities. I've been treated like a piece of meat with absolutely zero regard. Not even an ounce. The word regard can't even come in to my life story. There's not been one person take accountability for the shit that they have done to me. And they know they've done it. Those that call themselves leaders and spiritualists and helpers in the community, they've done very egregious things to me. And they do it to this day, trying to find a way where they can stop me and break me and pull me back into their story because they want. And they might think right now that they want to come and apologize and have a healing session, and they want to make things right. They want to make things right because they still want a part of me. It has nothing to do with trying to make me feel better of the PTSD, the stuttering and the processing that I have to do with the horrible experiences that I see, that I feel, that I experience, that I dream about, because I still have to process the horrible torture that I went through. Spell work and chanting on suicide and trying to take my life, and the horrible things that people send me for my car to crash. The poison that has been infused into my life when I could have already healed thousands and thousands and thousands of children and people by now. And my channel is still not being seen by 1/10 of one community because these people feel as if they're pimps over my life. I will not be sold and I will not be bought. And God will assure that any monies that have traded hands on my name, my signature, or my life, or my energy, or my consciousness, any stupid person that thinks they can switch destinies. Do you not think the Akashic records are the most important sacred experience ever? And do you think a 3D person, so selfishly arrogant, thinks that they can put a spell and switch a destiny of the most sacredness up to the 15th dimension? Do you think that one arrogant, toxic root worker has the authority over God to switch someone's destiny? Do you think God would have allowed a unique, rare being specifically brought to planet Earth to assist the entire collective to not only prepare for first contact, to heal the Akashic wounds, to heal through DNA, to heal through your bodies, your psyche, your psychology, all that you are as a multidimensional being, the only one that can explain it in the ways that I can? Do you think that God would have allowed anybody from a 3D low vibrational experience of an arrogance of somebody that thinks they play God? I don't understand this level of experience, and I survived it. So if I can survive that much hate, dear lighted ones, you're able to do anything because you carry stories similar. You carry discrimination. You carry exploitation when you've been used and abused and sold. When your signatures have been sold, your paperwork has been sold, you haven't gotten the care that you needed, the health care that you needed. You haven't received what you needed because there's other people that are playing games and making a lot of money off of it. And those in systems, whether it be policing or banking, judicial, education, that are using children's energy, that are using the children, using information, using names, using birth certificates, using anything that they don't have authority for. Who are you? Who are you? I'm calling those people out in Calgary. The ones that thought you had ownership on me and my life. And you don't. You never will. And you've been proven. God will keep proving it to you. You need to leave people alone, or everybody's lives involved will continue to be tower moments after tower moments after tower moments, be it health, be it financial, be it any other aspect of life. And God's just showing you. I'm a rare, rare breed, and I'm meant to be honored and valued and appreciated and to live in sacredness. How dare anyone treat me the way I've been treated? and then lie about it and deny it. Like that's going to help your karma. There are those people that are looking for me of great benevolence. Share my videos so that the children can know how to claim their value, rewrite their worthiness, work with their fields and their chakras, so that they don't get taken advantage by somebody that wants to take care of them and then harvest them and bid against them and sacrifice them. Because unfortunately, there are those that work from the level of DNA and such great dogmatic wounding and sexual abuse of their own that they're choosing not to heal, that they will do anything and everything to sacrifice and to do rituals and spell work, and they don't care about the universal laws. And I've run across a lot of them because I was here to also show them that they could choose a different way. And I was sent as their test. Are you going to come out of your greed and your envy and your soul wounds, and will you take part in oneness of your own soul? Because I stand before everybody as a part of you. And there were so many that are just so wounded and filled with hate. They couldn't see that I was a loving aspect of them. They just wanted me dead. Because that's how they feel about themselves. They made a lot of money. And once God puts a stop to all of the money, they'll look for other ways. And God will keep returning them back to themselves because that is the only answer. That's always been the answer. That's always been my message. It's not about anybody else. I'm here to help heal and bring in higher intelligent systems for humanity. Help humanity prepare for first contact. I am a conduit for the Elohim and the holy creators of new earth programs for light, for unity, to heal higher vibrational people, children, systems, bodies, minds, spirits, and souls, because we are walking so very disconnected. And if my life story has not been proof of that, so very blatantly obvious in discrimination and exploitation and fraud and harassment and invasion of privacy when nobody ever had permissions, why would anybody give permission of such abuse? But they felt entitled to give it anyways. And I survived. And that's a story that, dear lighted ones, as a sensitive and as an empath and as a healer, and there's many things that my teams say that I am that we just don't have words for. Walking around already on a planet where women are already at an 80% disadvantage. And these groups have benefited very long and hard for these benefits of imbalance. But as I said earlier, which is the core, that hitting home statement. Anybody that thinks they are better than another, as far as misogyny and the groups and the imbalances in all of our systems and how they're so corrupt and why they're so corrupt and why anybody felt they had entitlement over me in any way, to use me and abuse me, to take from me and to steal from me, the double standards. I'm going to take everything I can from you, but you can't go anywhere and you can't do anything and you can't have a life and you can't shine and you can't have people love you. You can't have people give to you. You're never going to receive for the rest of your life, but I get to have everything from you and for you. I get to take everything that it is with you. Geez, how suffocating and exhausting and how narcissistic. You could be working 12 jobs and they would be so happy you're working 12 jobs. It's absolutely, it feels like a pimp, narcissistic pimping. That's what it feels like. That's what the last 10 years have felt like for me, because these people became more and more obsessive with my energy. They became more and more obsessive when Spirit said no and started rerouting them because they weren't willing to go within and do the work. They saw me as their meal ticket. They saw me as their light ticket. And that's exactly how the children are viewed. And that's not okay. How is that okay? Do you see the warping? It like me talking about it, it's like, is this real? This is how people behave. And they hide behind titles and they hide behind their community elitism bullshit. They don't have a right to be in those positions. And God is pulling every single one of them down. My life is just one story. There are thousands of women in my half of the country that were never heard, that died, that didn't get a chance. I shouldn't be here right now. And there are those that chant and cheer for that. But yet they want the money from it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's psychologically just fucked. It's fucked. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. There we go. We're going to take everything we can from you, and you're never going to receive anything. The only reason why I'm here, the only reason why there is money in my account is because of God. God forced the bare minimum to be given to me. God forced it, had to step on the necks of certain people for me to have $1 in my account. Forced it. If it were up to them, I wouldn't have been given a thing. And I would still be being pimped by their underground fuckery and bidding systems and human testing, whatever the fuck was going on. How is that okay? I survived. So if I can survive, you can survive. You can survive those that think they have pull over you, those that want to blackmail you and manipulate you and intimidate you. No, stand up. Don't take any intimidation. You get the little fraudulent intimidation tactics on your phone because someone sold your cell number, someone sold your banking information. Stand up and report it. Report every phone number. Take a picture of it, report it, and keep reporting it. And if you don't get action, go back and report it again with somebody different. Because there might be somebody in that system that is being fraudulent and they don't want that information to get through because they're actually a part of the underground posse that gets cut from it. One person gets paid $5,000 for your information. It goes 3 or 4 different ways because there's a group of them. How did one divine feminine ever survive? One of the most sweetest girls that was known as the unicorn, and the little person that would heal any animal and take in any animal just because she felt so benevolent towards it. She didn't want that animal to be cold outside. That's the heart and soul of me that got ripped to shreds over the past 10 years. And how I was shut down and ignored and put in a corner and ostracized for being psychic. For talking with spirits in the forest and for talking with spirit and God in my bedroom while they were trying to tell me how much I was loved, even though the world outside was showing me otherwise. While I was being touched and lied to on a daily basis. So you tell me, dear lighted ones, is the world better for me being here? I've only offered 1/10 of what I'm able to offer. I don't need to validate or prove anything to anybody. And anybody that even comes forward with that type of an attitude, they can fuck off. You don't deserve my space or my time or my energy. Go get healed. I'm psychic. I have multidimensional interfacing, and I'm a healer. I work on behalf of the systems of light and the Elohim, Mother, Father, God. I am a part of the Christ consciousness that will help heal this planet and the grids and every planet that is in evolution. The multiverse is evolving, and why I come forward and produce and offer universal laws, because you're a universal being. You cannot evolve or ascend without understanding that and knowing that you affect all. And until you get healed, and until you claim who you have been and who you are, you will simply stay in a stuck karmic pattern. And you will be subject to whatever programs that can find anything to buy and bid off you. I'm just one. And I've created great healing systems that have not been seen or known by anybody, and my channel has not grown by 3 or 4 people in 6 or 7 years. Now, anybody with half of a brain, anybody that cares about your human next to you, in the house next to you, in the next ascension cycle that you're going to go through, because you're going to have a dark night of the soul that's going to call in a soul fragment. And the one that I'm talking about right now is you. And every time you get up, you get thrown right back down. And you have people stepping on your throat because you just want to speak truth, because it will help 1,000 people after you. And when you go to sleep at night, you have those beings that are still trying to tunnel into your dreams and your consciousness time because they want to feed you their false stories. So that when it comes time to you to speak to authorities or investigators, or when it comes time for you to share your voice because you know that God is placing you as an influencer of the divine and the pure of heart, that you might get confused and you might change your story. I won't change my fucking story. I know who I am. I have been abused horribly, and I survived. Daily attacks, daily schemes and plots and plans, swiping and shifting of monies back and forth to somehow be a part of what might be coming for me. And whatever blessing that might come into my life, it looks like ravaged dogs waiting outside the cage to get one tiny little piece of meat that's in the very center of the cage. Can you imagine how that feels, dear lighted ones? Put that in your memory. Now, what if that was a child that was looking for a safe and gentle place to sleep, that was looking for somebody to tell a story to because she saw an angel? And all people looked at her for was money or light. She's got something we need. Let's take it. Let's rape her. Let's do a bidding system. We'll make even more money off of it. And then we'll use her work and we'll make up a fake channel and we'll get paid. We'll get paid from her videos and call it you. And then they'll have people dress up like her. We'll have people kind of look like her. We'll have people kind of talk like her. And then we'll make as much money as we can. And then when she does get money, we'll somehow get the documents to get her to give us her account information. And then we'll sell that account information to the people that do the fraud on the banking systems, and they'll start to intimidate her. And maybe just once she'll be really tired and she'll click on a link that she thought was from somebody else, and they'll have access to her whole phone and her whole life and every penny that she's ever worked for 15 years, day in and day out, talking to lawyers and thousands of emails to try and make her voice heard. Hundreds of videos, thousands of journals written about the discrimination. And those ravaged dogs and vultures eat her alive. And then they look for the next victim and the next victim, because it just wants to feed and it doesn't stop. So what would have happened, dear lighted ones, if I died? Do any of you care? Do I mean anything to anybody? I affect every child on this planet. My life has been put on hold for 8 years because of these selfish, arrogant games of fuckery. Because there's a no-win. And the people are seeing that now. Their monies are blocked. Their health is blocked. Everything is being blocked. There is no win. They're looking for the win. They want the win. And they think the only way that they can win is to take my body and have it being seen as dead on their sacrifice table. And they will say, watch all the monies pour in, because they'll think that my energy will be given to them. And God will laugh at that. God would never allow my energy or the energy of the Jesus to be sacrificed. There's no such thing. It's an illusion. Draw it out. So if there is one person on this planet that has an idea or something that can help heal a whole nation, what happened if I died? What happened if my visions didn't activate that person that got healed 2 years ago or 4 years ago? Or the divine feminine stories that are coming out now, and I'm inspiring so many divine feminine to stand in their power and create new divine feminine stories. I see what God shows me on how much of an impact I've made to this multiverse. But nobody on this planet seems to give a shit. I just don't get that. I know the impact I make. That's all that matters. What I don't get is the lack of care. I don't get how people will do anything to make a buck when they just go within and do their own work. I don't get why children are abused. I don't get that when you're a psychic and a light worker, you get targeted. The leaders of the countries should be making appointments with us. But instead there's human testing to try and see how much we can take and will we kill ourselves. I survived. Archangel Gabriel, is there anything else you would like me to say? I asked Archangel Gabriel and the angels to help me bring forward parts of my story that were vulnerable and genuine, because it's needed for those that are going through healing stories, that need to get in touch with their psychic and empathic aspects of their childhood that will be coming up to be healed. And those that have been ostracized their entire life because they just feel different and they feel extra sensitive and they feel like they're knowing things, and other people around them are looking at them like they're crazy. And they're really not. They see and they feel things that are just not words. Everything in creation has a story. The vibrational information that you get from the non-story, from the non-words, is far more than you get from the words. And as emotional geniuses, as emotional high-functioning, as psychic, as empaths, as crystals, as hybrids, as whatever we want to call it, whatever terms, who knows, because there's going to be new ones. I was a test here for many. How is the judging? How are the human systems? Are they ready for first contact? Are they ready to be healed overnight? Or do they want to sit in some more hate? Will they do the work within? Will they heal? Will they love themselves? Will they redesign themselves? Will they know it's safe to talk about their childhood? Will they know it's safe to talk about being psychic? Will they know it's safe to talk about their chakras and their fields and the things that they've seen from other planets and other beings as they stand before them at their bed, trying to soothe them because the world just won't soothe them? Because the world doesn't get it. They don't want to get it. We are psychic, and we know when we walk into a room who is living from a place of hate and who is living from a place of openness. There's some of us where we can feel the wounding on the body, And if the person in front of us is open enough, we'll start a conversation about how that wounding can be healed. Because we always ask our place within that transaction. May I offer this person before me help, Spirit? And Spirit will say, yes, their guides are giving you permission. Their higher self is asking for your expertise. And in my experience yesterday, as I was in the shop, there's my light chips. Hello, beautiful light chips. As I was in the beautiful shop, let you see my light chips. Hello, light chips. The girl that I was helping, she was also a psychic, and she hadn't run into anybody like me. And it was emotional at certain points, because that's how people feel when they connect with a healing. They cry and they let out energy. And as healers and psychics and empaths, and as a crystal, as a part of my life story, and being ostracized for being who I am, people react in my energy. And as a child, nobody taught me about any of this. I'm giving this to you as a mirror of what many children feel, because they're so very special. And because the world outside of them doesn't understand or get them, nor are the programs aligned or designed for them. So a lot of the time they get shut down and feeling like they're not valued or important, and they so very are. But when a child faces themselves being creatively expressive just in who they are, and they're being honest and genuine, and then they get treated as if they're what the fuck kind of energy, you get to understand why we go through what we go through. So put yourself in my shoes for a day. And I'm used to it now, because God has shown me who I am, and I'm okay because I can talk my way around those experiences of people not accepting me. And I'm okay with that, because I accept me. I get that now. But as a young child with nobody understanding, those are my childhood wounds. When your own family doesn't get you, doesn't want to get you, and they don't want to talk about spirituality. They don't want anything to do with spirituality. So when you come over to visit, you can't talk about spirituality, even though that's who you are. So they get to be who they are, but you don't get to be who you are. So be me for a day. And the more I get activated, and every day I wake up, I'm more and more sensitive. So that's more and more that I feel that I have to navigate around, and I have to make sure that I'm spending enough time in nature and grounding and healing my body, because I get to feel more and see more. And people pull on my energy more because they need the healing. But they also have to ask for permission or make a session, because I do have to get paid for it. Why would I just give it away for free all the time, when I've already been abused and taken advantage of and used and stolen from and raped? It's been horrible discrimination. That's my life story. I've survived, and I've made a lot of great healing, written 3 books, and every day I walk about, I help people. Every day I walk about, I'm becoming more and more truthful. And Spirit said I'll remember more and more of my childhood memories, and memories from other planets where these people were involved in other timelines, where the stories continued. I'm gonna see if you guys can see the light ships up there. Can you see the light ships? They're right above me. Hello, light ships. Hello, sweetie light ships. Hello, light ships. There they are. Hello, sweetheart. That one's from the Pleiades. Hello, Pleiades. Can you see that one? Were you able to see that one? Hello, sweetie. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. I'm just gonna close my window. Hello, sweethearts. So that's a bit about my story. My story is amazing. And every day I breathe in more and more self-acceptance, and I'm understanding myself, and I'm honoring, and it's a great honor to walk in my shoes. And I know that I can't expect that from the outside world, and I'm learning to accept it more and more within my inside first. But there's a whole bunch of my story that I haven't remembered because it was just a lot of discrimination and ostracization and shutting down. Being used, literally being used. That's used and taken advantage of because people were just so wounded. They thought that that was the thing to do because our understanding of being psychic and sensitive and coming with a different vibration of light, and people, of course, when I was younger, they didn't understand anything about consciousness. None of that was talked about back then. Nothing about energy was talked about. So I'm literally a pioneer and a maverick. Nobody's talked about the things that I talk about on my channel in the in-depth way of healing and transcending for humanity. How to work through the negativity, how to work through the shadow, how to work through the darkness that you're impaled with. And the most incredible, profound hurdles and challenges that people are thrown. The misuse and abuse of information and information of privacy and the corruption on all of these grand levels. There's people that are looking for me for very benevolent reasons, so help people find me. Share the videos. Send YouTube emails and feedback until my channel is seen by everybody. There's sensitives and very empathic children that need my guidance and my information. Teach the children about chakra systems and their fields, to claim their light, to claim their consciousness. And keep talking about your story. Share your story about transcending and making your life beautiful, no matter what's thrown at you. Again, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the celestials, for my alliance with light. And I often ask, God obviously knows my value and I know my value. But for me to be on a planet where my role is to be healer and teacher and guide and bringing divine feminine back into creational story for the rebalancing of the entire galaxy, these are big things. And yet the people on the planet treat me like I'm less than a pack of meat. All they want to do is bid and get money for, and toxically think that they have claim, and then at the same time want me dead. So as long as they're making money off me, that's fine, while not giving me anything, not having myself take the credit for my work, not being paid one penny, no discussions, no signatures, no approvals, no business meetings, nothing. This was all done behind the scenes without my knowledge at all on any level. Like I said, I only know 2 of these people, and there was 50 plus involved to try and take me down. And so, dear lighted ones, if my story is nothing short but amazing and incredible, because I get to say that, and anybody that has attitude about that, then again, you can fuck off and get off my channel and stay off. I have the right to be proud to be here, because you have no idea who I am. And most that target me and most that go through those experiences, I've offered unconditionally on how to heal your bodies. I've offered unconditionally how to create your life and make your own vocation and make your own abundance. Unconditionally. For 16 years, I have offered unconditionally hundreds of videos, hundreds of postings, thousands of pieces of content, and many of which they use and abuse, and they make money off of it and call it their own. While again, I don't make a penny off of it. I don't make anything off my YouTube because it's been shadow banned. It's been blocked. You can't make money if you're not don't have the subscribers. I don't make any money on my content. But there's been people stealing off me for years. And then they punish me when I speak out. And they send me more spell work, and they send people to hit on me. And hit on me doesn't mean trying to get a date with me. They do that too. They want to get people to have a date with me so that they can have sex with me, and they can give me certain things through their sex work, and they can put entities in their attachments as if I'm going to go for that. Yeah, because I've survived 4 times of being dead, and I'm going to sleep with somebody sent to me by an underground pimp. That sounds like something I do. But this is what they spend their time doing. And I have to spend my time clearing my fields and ensuring that my energy vibration is high enough. And my teams and my guides and my ancestors make sure that they're blocked on a daily basis. That's what it's like being me for a day. You listen to some of the tarot readers that talk about the stuff that's been going on. That's my story. And they get exhausted and disgusted within 12 minutes of the reading. This has been my life for 15 years, 24/7. Because sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night and they do spells on me at night because they think that's when I'm most susceptible. They try and tunnel into my dreams. That's being me, 24/7. And why God will place as many legions around me as possible. Because I have a great message and great energy. And I'm a very rare being, and I'm meant to be here. And none have override on that. God and me. It's my life, and I will celebrate it, and I will exalt. I am Joanna. I am that I am, and I will exalt in my name, and I will celebrate my energy. I will celebrate my vibration. And I'm so lucky to be here. And it's just sad most of the collective hasn't even recognized it. I've been doing this for 16 years. I haven't had a breakthrough in making what I can call an income and survive off it on my own. So there's something going on when you go at it 24/7 for 16 years, and there's gangs of people that are doing everything they can to make sure that you stay in poverty and you don't receive anything. Why is it that people want to make sure that you don't receive? Why is that? Because if you did receive, you'd do something good with it. You'd actually get to more people. You'd actually be able to hire people where your website wasn't taken down, that you weren't gang stalked, and you actually had protection on your home. You actually had others supporting you and lifting you up. And you actually had the money to do promotional work. You actually had money to go on visiting to other countries and other places where people could get the healing. So they work with you whatever way they can by taking away every ounce of resources so that you cannot move, so that you can't be seen. Be in the dark or not, dear lighted ones, but I will shine. And I'm going to come forward every day, and I'm still going to be me. And God will make sure every spell and every voodoo and every chant and everything that anybody tries to do will be returned. And God will keep showing everybody that I am meant to be here. Step out of the way. And as you go to bed tonight, dear lighted ones, you and everybody that watches this share our videos. What would happen if I wasn't here? The profundity of the multiverse has been changed because I'm here, helping humanity understand multidimensionality and prepare for first contact. That is our destiny, to live in oneness of Source and all life. Nobody teaches it the way I do. Nobody offers it in the codes that I do the way I do. And I'm not going anywhere. That's a promise. I was brought back by Archangel Michael and God. You got 2 of those heavy hitters. God is the creator of all things. Bringing me back? You better bet there's a reason. God wasn't going to let me take out. Not 1 time, not 2 times, not 3 times, not 4 times. Being vibrationally raped and taken advantage of God will just place more ancestors on me. I survived. Molestation, date rape, vibrational poisoning in ways that most people can't even understand. Homelessness, poverty, those lying to your face saying they're not doing anything while in the next room they're doing spells on you to make sure they're bound to you and that you never escape, that you never become successful, that you never have your voice heard. Heaven forbid you should be seen and known and succeed. And then you get to feel everybody when you walk around, and you just hope that they're feeling okay. What will your world look like, dear lighted ones, when all divine feminine just go away and they're not here? The gardens won't grow and the food won't grow. The bodies will be sick and the hospitals will be empty. And there'll be nobody to have children because the children are sick too. What world do you want, dear 3D leaders? You haven't done a very good job. This divine feminine that should have been taken out a long time ago. And my story of praying that you wake up. The damages that were done, irreparable and deplorable. The only reason why there's people that are even standing today to give whatever semblance of apology that is, absolutely 100 because of God. God has spared so many so that they can give me an apology. And who knows if they will. Who knows if they'll return any of the monies they've stolen and taken and withheld and kept my mail and kept whatever they've kept in the way that they've taken my things and things that belong to me rightfully because I've earned it and I've created it. The only reason why there are people standing today is because of God. Because there is a divine plan that all must see. I told everybody this years ago. I'm here for a reason, and so too are you. So if I can withstand constant daily bullying, and there are some communities like this place that accept me and love me, and they love it when I walk in the door to their spa or their space, and people wave at me in the street and they call my name. And they come over to my table just to talk with me and they give me the fist pump to say, hey, how you doing? People do that to me here. People like me here. People lift me up here. They can't wait to see me succeed. That's a community. So create that in your community. Say that you can't wait for someone to succeed. Show your happiness because that's going to come back to you because you know you're going to succeed in wishing others success. And when you're feeling triggered about jealousy or envy or greed or gluttony, whatever it is that's going on inside of you that would ever want to make you do a spell to harm somebody or block somebody, you have to know that that is a deep, imbalanced human wound. That's not normal. Blocking someone is not normal. Go within and sort out that warping. Divine masculines that don't want to give up their power, you must go within and heal. Because that power is not really there. What planet are we creating to take out a divine being like me? And like I said in my video the other day, there were those people here on this earth, because my teams recently showed me a couple people that were very close to me that had passed away recently. And they couldn't return the karma and the pain and the damage that they did to me. They were meant as part of their soul contract to make it right, if you will. And why I talk about the positive aspects of karma while you're here. Clear what you can while you're here so you don't take it with you into other realms and other experiences. And so those people that were showing me that they're going to help me on the other side by clearing the way and being my bodyguard and so on and so forth. And also set up beautiful little things, because your guides do much more than that. So when they can't give you the apologies, or when they can't make things right and they can't bring you the truth that you absolutely needed to heal your body and your story, like many of us, especially in my parents' day and age, where there was so much secrets that were hidden in their childhoods, and their parents would live these other lives, and these parents were living in other experiences, and the children were left to just guess at what their childhood and their histories are and their lineages. And the parents, the thing in the olden days, in my parents' day, is that just as people are hitting their deathbed, they come out with all these truths. Don't wait for that. Why would you wait till somebody's on their deathbed and all of a sudden you say the things that you should have said while they were alive and while they were in front of you? Don't wait to be on your deathbed before you make karma, before you clear your conscience. That doesn't necessarily clear your conscience just because you're spewing out all the truths and all the things you did to somebody while you're dying. That is one of the most selfish things somebody can do, because it's just showing the arrogance that you had infinite opportunities to say what you could have said, but you chose not to, until you go seconds before you're going to be passing over and you think that it's going to let you go to heaven, which is, again, another fallacy, another mistruth. But that just keeps the body sick until you're at your deathbed and you think, well, I've got to come out with all my truths now because I want to go to heaven. So I'll say all these things to all these people I've hurt and stolen money from, and I had sex with their brother and their sister. And I guess I should say that now because they deserve to know. They deserve to know the second that you do it, and then again think, why would you even do it? Time to mature and grow up, people, and get healed. We shouldn't be creating these types of karmas anymore. We are a consciously awake world. Nothing should be left to your deathbed. That's a very selfish experience, and it doesn't clear your karma. You're here to step forward and say, I've lived this life. These are the choices I've made. These are the woundings that I have, and I'm going to seek help in clearing it and healing it. I want to be in oneness. I do not want to cause any more harm. How can I heal? Being on your deathbed and coming up with truths so that it thinks that you're going to get the bypass into heaven, while others around you have been left suffering for years and years and years, and all it took was truth. That is not being an advanced soul. That's not being a common, courteous human to your neighbor that you fucked over, or your sister or your brother that you stole from, or slept with their wife or brother or sister. The depths of corruption that have occurred in my one life, the amount of people that have hid things and done things behind my back, and they don't think that I know and they don't think that I see. There are things that God has shown me that He and Mother, Father will keep from me because it would be far too painful for me to know. And it would put me right back into a very distressed space. And so these souls that operate in this way, take it to your everyday life. When you see something that is not okay to a human experience, you have no idea who that soul is. And it doesn't matter. They're still a human soul and they're a human life. But there are those that God will place of the Most High before you, and everybody will be tested. How do you treat them? Will you treat the most unexpected in the most beautiful of ways? Can you treat them in the most beautiful of ways? Can you come forward in truth every day? Because Spirit will place somebody before you, and 10 people previous to that, you have said the same lie. You have put on the same mask. And that one person that is before you is that one person that can clear your karma with you. What do you choose to do? Do you choose to still come forward in a mask, or will you bow and be truthful? Will you say to yourself, I am here as me, I am glad to be me, I am proud to be me, I'm sorry that I said this lie, but it feels so good to finally be me. I will not hide anymore. I will fully be Joanna. I will fully be the light of who I am. I will not hide my gifts. I am a profound being on this planet. And it's sad, very so disappointing, and sometimes I get disgusted at how people have not seen the absolute truth of being human and what humans do to other humans and animals and the land. I don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But that's part of being a high vibrational person that I have to work through and operate within, because I know that how I move through and operate in this life, I'm helping all of those councils and all of those infinite beings and all of those infinite future children that will be touching down on this planet. Because I'm helping councils and beings and species and DNA geneticists on the other lands and other planets that we're in all of these evolutionary programs with. I know my place in creation. But I'm still human and I have to process what I fucking experience. And I have these conversations with the highest of the Akashic guides and the highest of the healing teams and the highest of the Most High. I'm still human. I have to process these stories. I have to process the stories that there's people that want me dead. How do I process that? On a daily basis, how do I process that? As a healer. Well, just keep walking around and do your thing. So I listen to Spirit. I tune in. Okay, clear it out. And some of these are people that have been in your family. Okay, well, how do I process that? And then those things that people could have said, should have said before they passed, but they didn't say because they thought it was easier to keep it in because it was safer for them rather than come forward and actually make it okay for you to heal because you needed that as a part of your healing story. But heaven forbid anybody should be truthful on this planet. Heaven forbid anybody should be genuine and authentic and come forward with any semblance of fucking truth. No, they just keep it until their deathbed, and the moment that they croak, oh, by the way, here you go. There's that piece of nugget that you needed. Then you got to sit with that and process as your world has been flipped upside down as you lose a loving member of your family. And then you find out something truly profound that you should have known 15 years previous or 20 years or 50 years previous. But that's the insecurity that people walk with. They don't understand healing. They don't understand their psyche wounds. They don't understand their wounding. And they walk around in these masks and these illusions and these mistruths. And nobody can come forward with the truth because everybody else is hiding. Nobody's really being who they truly are. Well, I have always come day one being who I am. And I've actually held myself back because I am so fucking powerful. I've held myself back from my light because I just wanted other people to feel more comfortable being around my royalty. And I've held myself back to make others feel comfortable because that's how considerate I am. And that's what it's like being me for 50 minutes. I could pop out of my body if I wanted to. I got nothing to prove. I'm super disappointed about humanity and how we've treated each other. I don't know how else to say it. 600 some odd videos, and I've said it hundreds of different ways. Are we ready to wake up, dear lighted ones? How many more stories do I need to come forward and share? About discrimination, about abuse, about invasion of privacy, about fraud, people selling signatures and making money off them. Who's going to step forward and do the right thing? What would life be like if I just wasn't here? Would your day carry on as usual? Would the children get healed? Would the children understand light language?
Would the children have a teacher to go over light language and what light language is all about? Would the children get activated with their highest version of self? And then you see the child that you so dearly love, or maybe not, be their highest, most excited self and have them have a successful life? Can you imagine the most beautiful, successful children and their lineage and their timelines? Because you're going to be born into it 2 timelines down the road. What happens if you are actually born as a child to the grandparent of someone that you used to be in family with? But because you came forward and you brought that truth, and because you didn't wear masks, and because you did the right thing, you come into a body that's perfectly healthy, that is karma-free, and you're actually born to loving parents that don't beat you. How about that for clearing your karma? Everything you do affects everybody. You holding back divine healing from a child is going to be the very same thing you're born into, your next timeline. Are you going to let the children be healed? Are you going to let great healing systems occur and unfold? Or are you so selfish and arrogant that you think you write God's plan and you're going to be born into the next body as a rich person with no ailments and no disease and no karma? Because you don't have anything to learn as a soul while you selfishly rape and take from people? Do you honestly think that's how creation of an evolutionary status of billions and trillions and zillions of aspects of life in one galaxy, do you honestly think, of all logic, that that is the case? Humble yourselves, dear lighted ones. You're a divine soul and you're meant to learn and grow and expand. My story is one story among billions. You can transcend anything and you can maintain yourself through the most difficult of challenges. As people are sending you whatever they send you, it doesn't matter. Stand up and be counted. Stand up and know that abuse is abuse and call it as it is. Nobody has the right to say over you, to write over you, to take voice over you, to take choice over you, period. You have human rights and you have spiritual rights. Your spiritual rights are the jurisdiction of your life, period. Walk in that and exalt. You can start from nothing and make success. I have been promoting my business from literally whatever I have had coming to me. There is no extra resources, there's no slush fund, there's no people giving me donations of thousands of dollars a month, or the people that have been stealing from me. I've not had even a penny of that except for the 3 clients that donate what they can. I don't have a regular huge source of income that comes to me from any of the stuff that I've been doing for 16 years. And on top of the timelines that I've already accumulated positive karma on infinite timelines before that are ready to come to me. And there's still people and vultures like the caged dogs waiting outside ready to pounce, trying to find their way in. God's got your number. My ancestors are just waiting for you. They're saying, I wish you would. That's how selfish people are. That's how wounded they are. So will you heal now? Has there been enough tower moments that people heal? Can you be sensitive? Can you be dynamic? Can you be galactic? Can you be celestial? Can you be alien? Can you have all of those wonderful things that occur in a process of an awakening? And can you stand and speak it without a lie? Can you exalt in who you are and say, I've got gifts, I'm not sure how to work with them yet, but boy, I'm excited. And if you have something to tell somebody because it will ease their mind, because it will bring healing to them, can you stand in the courageous being that you are and be that? Don't wait for some powerful moment to happen before you start to be truthful. Because truth is what clears your chakras. Truth is what sets the ground that everybody walks on and the future timelines that you're going to be born into. We've been talking about this for 16 years. Are we getting it yet? Truth is clarity. That's what you walk on. If you are nothing but lies, it will fall, it will be falter, and it will fall. It will tower, it will break, it will crumble, it will be destroyed. It's not rocket science. You cannot build on darkness. Deceit, manipulation, thievery is darkness. It is falling. Towers are falling, people. Will you come forward and be truthful? If you see people blatantly be discriminated, are you going to say something? Will you stand up? Will you speak your truth when you are discriminated? Will you positively come forward and produce the videos of your stories and point blank experiential knowledge of who you are, what you've gone through, and speak that story so that your story is unwavering? This has happened to me. This is real. Your story matters. Your expression of you matters. That's the key to my life story. The heavens and the councils are watching. How will people express themselves when we place the Divine One before them? Will they bow and be respectful? Are they ready for their heavenly light body? Even those that have been ascended for a while stand before me. And I had Spirit say to me a couple of years ago when I was in a room of very enlightened people. And I said to Spirit, I recognize their souls. Will they recognize me? And these people that have been out in the world doing their work for a very long time, and they've done very, very well for themselves, and they're very well known, they said they don't remember you as a soul. But I recognized them as soon as I walked in. And my teams had said, don't be disappointed, they won't recognize you. Because they still not had awakened to who I was. And yet they had been very, very successful doing what they were doing, and they're very, very well-known people. And that's okay. I still love them, and I had a beautiful time with them all. And every day, I struggle to get my work out there and to be seen and to be heard and to touch the energies of those that need healing and to share my work fairly and equally like all of the other channels and all of the other healers. And those that don't heal and all those that aren't healers, they've made money off of my work. And I don't understand how they can be okay with that, understanding what energy is. But again, I forgive them, and it's all a part of the human experience, and that's a part of my navigating through this experience, which I'm helping the other children that will be coming here, and they're learning off of me. They go to Celestial Hybrid School, and they watch those that they are connected with and that are their surrogate healers. I'm a surrogate mother to many. And being a surrogate mother, they have access to what I go through because I'm helping them learn and prepare themselves to come to Earth. Because I am like they are. And I'm preparing the grids to receive the children. So I'm helping prepare systems for higher vibrational beings. But it's been like going to a beach and having every grain of sand having to navigate through. That's the level of density. I can't just pick up a shovel and move the sand away. I have to pick up every single grain. You see what I'm saying, dear lighted ones? That's how it feels to be me. It's not accepted. It's ridiculed. It's made fun of. It's ignored. It's suppressed. It's depressed. Why? Why? Why is my channel shadow banned? Why is my channel suppressed? Why is my work suppressed? Blatant discrimination, share my work. That's how it feels to be me in these experiences and situations. It's utterly and absolutely unfair. And it's been 50 years. These experiences have been 50 years long, and why I have these discussions with my teams. And why God, no matter what, should have been done 8 years ago. I should have been living my life of not having to worry about resources so that I can do my job and do it really well. Because I'm not stressed and I'm not feeling like I have to protect myself every 5 feet or I have to put extra protection on while I sleep because people are doing extra root work and voodoo and hoodoo, whatever they want to call it, because they think they're all powerful and they want to wipe me off the face of the planet. And then what? You're going to go to the next person? Then what? Then you're going to go to what? What are you going to do then? You're going to get the trees? Then what? Then what kind of a planet are you going to live on? Why I ask you these things? Draw it out. You take one lightworker like myself and the things that have occurred on the planet because of the damage to me. I represent divine feminine. I represent the milk of the mother. You take that milk away from this planet, what happens? Is everybody that arrogant to see what will happen without the mother's milk? Have we not got the parables that I brought forward in these teachings for 16 years, dear lighted ones? At times I must spell it out. This is my story, and I'm exalting in who I am. It's time. And those that think they want to do spell work on me and take from me and rape me and try and find out how they can steal from me, move out of my way. You will be moved. And you will not take from another light worker. It will be pulled back, and it will be stopped, and it will be blocked. We have our rights to be here. We have our rights to sing, we have our rights to dance, we have our rights to express ourselves. We are psychic, we are empathic, and we can sense and see and feel things that most people cannot, but you will in your time. Do you want to be prepared for that, or do you want to flounce and flounder around like the lost souls that some are? And it has to be this pointed, because what we have said in 600 videos doesn't seem to make much sense to some people that continue to do what they do, and it will not be stopped. God will assure that it will be my will. That is my birthright, and none have power over it. God and I are the only ones to take my body when I am ready, when God says it's time, just as the Christ was, I am. Get used to it, because I ain't going nowhere. I choose. That's my story. Be compassionate and loving and honoring to the psychics and the empaths and the light workers, because they're paving the way for those that are just not quite awake yet. And we've been compassionate, we've been tolerant, and we've been patient, and we've been kind, and we've been unconditional. We deserve our respect. We've accessed hundreds more timelines than most people. We're operating on hundreds and hundreds of timelines that we bring forward for the benefit and the benevolence of humanity. Give us our respect. We heal when traditional medicines can't and won't. Give me my respect. I've earned it. I can help people understand what they cannot understand, and nor can any counselor or psychiatrist. I've earned my respect. I've earned my place in this world. Stop trying to knock me off of it. I've earned my place, and I will write new stories of divine feminine, and they will be bountiful, and they will be nourishing, and they will be kind, and they will be compassionate, as I have always been. I'm meant to be here, and so too I will be. I've survived, and so will you. Get up and try again. Speak your truth. Truth is truth, and it will clear your karma. So speak it. Be it. Be powerful in your voice. Be powerful in what you know. Stop paying attention to anybody around you and get back within. Go within. Get back within. Go within. Get back within. Connect with God. Connect with your teams. Connect with your guides. Go back within and keep going within. And love yourself unconditionally, because you are the only one that will pull you through all things. You and God. You and God. You and God. You and God. God will pull you through the dark night of the soul. And find those few friends that will cheer you on when the chips are down. Find those few friends that will lift you and give you when you need to be given to. And you can have those conversations of challenges and supporting each other through the hard times. Those are true friends that will believe you the first time that you tell them a story about who you are. And just before I go, the first time that I started at my job here, I guess the first 3 months or so, I obviously don't tell everybody right off the bat what I do.
These were lovely, lovely ladies. And we just had a beautiful connection. And I had known that I had had other lifetimes with the two ladies that I work with. And Spirit had showed me a couple of the lifetimes that we'd worked together on. And things just were happening with us together synchronistically. And a girl that I work with, she would just come to work and I would talk to her about what Spirit was showing me to show her and to tell her. And she would just start crying. Because she had known that she was psychic and connected to Spirit in different ways, but she didn't have anybody to talk to about what she was feeling and going through. She had gone to church, but she didn't know how to kind of transition from understanding religion and Spirit and religion, but how to understand Spirit in her everyday life, because she knew that things were happening in her life that had nothing to do with religion, but that was all about Spirit. And when I was talking with her about the energies that were in her field and a message that had come from her mother that had passed a long time ago, and things that were validating for her, she just broke down crying, and she had a huge heart chakra clearing. And she cried for a couple of days after that. And now when I connect with her, she just starts crying because she remembered how profound the heart clearing was for her, and it made her remember who she was as a divine feminine on the planet, remembering herself as walking with God in that way. She had many other lifetimes where she did a lot of Christic work, walking with God and Spirit. And it was a remembrance. She was bringing herself back to herself in those releases and that recognition. Sometimes that's what we do as conduits. We just allow the vibration of who you are as a soul of Christ, the God, your soul, to remember who you are. And it feels so freeing. That's why you end up crying a lot. And a lot of people that interact with me, they just start crying because their hearts are remembering who they are as Spirit. Hearts are remembering who they are as God. And so these two girls that I've worked with, they're so very sweet in their souls, and we all recognize that we've had other lifetimes together, and we're supporting each other, to this day. And I never had to explain to them about who I am and the other things I had to explain to other people that just didn't accept me because they didn't accept themselves. They were embracing everything about me. They were embracing all aspects of me. I didn't have to explain being a healer and what that meant. They were just like, okay, we love you. And it wasn't anything weird that I had to discuss, and I always felt that I had to explain myself and why I felt what I felt and what I was feeling. And I was calling out so many people from my entire history on the lies they were telling in front of me, and they would still deny it. And then when you would say, no, that I know what I'm talking about, I kind of know Spirit, I know what I'm doing. And they would make you feel as if, no, you're wrong. Okay, well, you live in your lie. Well, I'm going to find people that want to live in truth. And that's when you start finding the acceptance of, yeah, there are people that will accept you and love you and lift you up and cheer you. So keep looking for your community, because living in those communities where I was living in are obviously not healthy, corrupt. You will never grow in those communities. You will always be blackmailed and suffocated and suppressed and depressed. You will be used and abused and taken from and stolen from and stalked. They're not safe communities. And you have to do your best to navigate around them and through them and away from them, and keep speaking your truth until somebody listens. And go to different people. If you're going to a police station, go to different people in that police station, because there's a couple of corrupt people in the police station, but not all of them are. So know that God will place angels in whatever manner that you need. So just God will place those angels in your earthly experiences to help you manifest what you need to manifest and get the truth. There's no reason why I should have gone through what I went through. I mean, getting blocks on every corner I turn, there's a block. Are you kidding me? Life isn't meant to be this hard. So when it's that hard, people are fucking with you. And they don't have the right. They don't have the right to keep fucking with you. Who says they have power over you to make your life hell? Who says that? Who is anybody to say that they block anything from you? Who are they? Who is that? And God is just letting people, God's going to let people play, and they're just going to fall right into their own pit. That's how God is. God will make sure that everybody knows who writes the story. Nobody has the right to keep a blessing from somebody that's worked eons for it. Like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck? You think you write God's story? Are you kidding me?
You're going to keep a blessing from a divine person that's healed thousands, and her channel isn't even suppressed? Her channel is suppressed and she still heals thousands. And you're saying you're going to hold her back? You're going to suppress her? You're going to make her seem like the bad guy? Oh, corrupt community? You're going to make false claims and make her look like the bad guy? Are you kidding me? Well, you're going behind closed doors, and you've got, if you did the forensic accounting and audits, forensic auditing on every single transaction of everybody involved, follow the money. But you don't want to do that because you know you're all going to get called out. And you are. You're all being called out. Because the lies are enough. God has given everybody enough time. There's a lot of monies that are waiting to come to me so I can help humanity, and I will. And nobody has the right to suppress me. Nobody. Nobody owns me. I have no boss except for God. Nobody owns me. Nobody owns my energy. Nobody owns my work. My work is my work, and I will stand for it. I am divine feminine. I am anchoring the new Eve. I am the new divine feminine matriarch, and I am fifth dimensional, and I will help people heal. And I will bring high vibrational wisdoms. That is my mission, and I'm meant to have fun, and I'm meant to receive. I am meant to be loved. I am meant to be lifted, and I will be. There's communities that lift me and celebrate me, and I will wash their feet. What world are we creating? What world do you want to be a part of? Lift the real leaders, because it's needed, if you haven't noticed. That's it, dear lighted ones. Thank you for sharing my story. I love you all. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love you. Go to sleep tonight and have prayers for all that you are. You're a beautiful divine being. If I've survived, you can survive. Get up, try again. Call in God. Make sure that you have your intentions of your truth. Your truth will see you through anything. Thy will be done. God loves you. You're meant to be heard. You're meant to be seen, and you're meant to shine. God loves you. Namaste, dear lighted ones. I love you.